Hi everyone, Salesforce Admin Training, day 43. Let's see what are we going to learn today. We'll quickly go through the previous session of admin and we'll talk about the validation rule functions. Last time, whatever we have seen it, and then we will talk about the record types. Record types are used for what and how do I create a record types, and record type use cases, when should I not to use record types, reports and dashboards, and we'll give you the trailhead ways. Right, so admin last session, we were talking about the last point was regex, right, creating the validation rule on the regex. Creating the validation rule on the regex. So here we have to give a field name and regular expression. Inside this, we have a few wildcard characters, which is a closed bracket and open bracket and closed bracket. It represents the group of character. And within the open and close, if you write a special letters like a S, P, R, it represents the word which has been prepared by the using specified character. In case if you write inside the square bracket A to P, that means it represents the words which has been prepared by using the specified character. If it is within the bracket, if it is a capital A to capital Z or a capital R, it represents the whatever you are writing within the A to R, it can take everything. Now 0 to 9 means it only represents a number. You can enter any digit between the 0 to 9. Similarly, number in the curly braces, number is nothing but it represents the number of character that you wanted to allow in the word. Right, so this is what we have seen in the last session. In the last session, we also implemented alpha PAN number. How to do the PAN number, alphabet number, how to write a number, everything we have seen. Now, if it is a alphabet, then you can use a capital A to Z or small a to Z. Like this is a curly braces 5, that means the 5 digits you wanted to go for it. That means 5 alphabetic digits, like to add it here, or 5 digits it has to be entered. 0 to 9 curly braces 4 means 4 numbers has to be entered. Right, so here it is a 4 and then 1 alphabet. So 1 alphabet could be a capital, could be a small. Right, so here we are saying the count, how many numbers we want. We want just a 1 alphabet. So this is what we have seen in the last class. This is what we have seen in the last class. So regex is the regular expression. Regex is the regular expression. Now, if you want to test how the regex is working, there is a site which is called as a regex101.com. So I'll ping you that URL. So this is the URL. In this URL, if you want to test it, if you want to test your whatever the data is there, how the regex is working, For example, I have just now mentioned in the PPT, like it says 0 to 9, right, which represents the whatever you are entering, it should be between the 0 to 9. Now let me take here. What I'm doing is square bracket 0 to 9 close bracket, 0 to 9 close bracket. So it is giving here matching string character in the range of between 0 and 9. So between the 0 to 9, it is a case sensitive. You have to enter between the 0 to 9. So I have entered 7. It matches form. Now if I type R, now one match is found, right? So here I have written 7 and R, but how many matches are found? Only one match. R did not find it. Now if it's simply by saying, if I remove this, right? It says that it doesn't match. It doesn't match because it is expecting the character in range between the 0 to 9. It is expecting the range between the 0 to 9. So here if you type whatever you are typing it, now it says that 5 is matching, 6 is matching, 7 is matching, 5 is matching, 6 is matching, and then 5, and then 6, and then finally 5 is matching, right? So each and every letter it is checking the whether it is matching or not. For example, if I say here, just enter only 3, just enter only 3, right? Now it is, this is the 3 digits, it is matching, 3 digits, it is matching, right? And after that, it is not matching the 6, 5. Now, if I enter here 6, 5, 7, then it will say that it is matching, 3 matches. Now, if I say 2 digit, it says 2 matches. That means 3 times I would like to 3 letters. Whatever you are typing here, it is divided into the 3, 3. So, this is one group, this is another group, right? So this is match 1 from 5, 6, 7, and this is match 2, 5, 6, 5, and then finally we have. So like this, if you want to test your regular expression, in case if you want to test your regular expression, then you can search here or you can type here. Similarly, if I say that, okay, enter only between the capital A to capital Z, right? No matches found. Because capital A to capital Z, it matches a single character in the range between the A to Z. That means here I need to enter something which is A to Z. Now I'll type here, one match is found. I'll type the small letter. It says only one match. Because small t is not between these two. Small t is not between these two. Now if I remove the G, it will say that it is no match found. If I say something capital R, out of this only one match. I have entered the small t, capital R. Small t, capital R. Only one match is found. Now in case if you want to accept the small letter also, then it has to be between the small a to z. Small a to z. Now it is T is matching it, R is matching it. T is matching, R is matching. So you can test or you can practice all the regex in the regex101.com. Regex101.com. Now last time we have discussed about this, right? Now here, so what we have done is, this is capital A to Z and then small a to Z. Enter only 5 characters. Enter only 5. Now here I am entering this. Now it is no match. Okay, because I entered the number. Now here I am entering some information. Now how many I have entered? Only 4. It is not matching it. Now if I type another letter, it says that match found. It says match found. Right? It says match found. Right, so this is how you will be testing it. This is how you will be testing it. For example, your PAN card number, right? Your PAN card number is, and this is a 5 letter. After that, you have to enter 4 number digits. 4 number digits. So what I will do, 0 to 9, and I'll enter 4 here. I'll enter 4. I'll enter the 4. Alright, so what it says, now I have to enter the 4 numbers. Now it says one match is found. Right? 5 letters, 4 digits, and then after that again I need to enter the 5 more. I need to enter one more alphabet. It should be either capital or a small. Either it should be capital or small. 1. So no match found. Now here I need to say whatever is there. Now the match is done. Now how our PAN card number. Let's take this PAN card number. Right? And enter this. It says match found. It says match found. Now this is how you can test your regular expression. This is a free IDE for a regular expression. This is free IDE for regular expression. Now this is the PAN card number. This is a to validate the PAN card number. Let's assume that I wanted to validate the phone number. I wanted to validate the phone number. In case if I wanted to validate the phone number, how can I do it? Right? We will test it here later. But before doing that, let's understand few more regular expression of the wild character. Okay. There is a something called here /d. /d is match any digit character same as a 0 to 9. 0 to 9. That means either you can enter here 0 to 9. Either you can enter here 0 to 9. 0 to 9. Enter 3 digits. Either you can say this. Either you can say this. Or else what you can do is /d. And then you can say here 3. /d you can say here 3. Right? Usually they will put a double slash here, right? So //d 3, that means which is almost equal to 0 to 9 digit, which is almost equal to 0 to 9 digit. Now next one we have a slash, the escape character. This is just a escape character. It is not doing anything there. It's just a escape character. Now next one we have a question mark. Question mark is basically it's a 0 or 1 quantifier. That means whether it is matching the previous one or not. Whether it is matching the previous one or not. That means either 0 or 1. For example, here I'll say hello question mark. I'm just saying hello question mark. Now question mark is matches the previous token between the 0 to 1 times. 0 to 1 times. Now that means I'm giving here hello, which is matches. Because match 1 time it found. What are the before question mark is there? If it matches or not, if it is like a O is there, right? So the question mark is followed by the character. Followed by the character. Whatever you are saying here, hello, and then question mark, right? So that means whatever the last letter is there, last digit is there, last digit can be between the 0 to 1 time. That means 0 means either it could be the last character could be there or could not be there. Last character could be there and could not be there. Now let's say here hello question mark. Now I am giving here HELL. So or else I'll give just in front of the question mark. Right? Now where I have given the question mark in front of the E after the E letter. Now this time it will say that no, it is not. It says that question mark is what are the before letter is there, whether the before letter is present or not, it will satisfy. Now here, HE question mark LLO I have given. That means here I have given the character HELLO. For example, if I remove HE, still it will say valid. That means sometimes what will happen is in our digits, possible that people might enter 1, 2, 3 and 1 alphabet. Sometimes they will just enter 1, 2, 3. That means whatever this letter is there, whether this letter is there or not, I want to accept it. Whether the last letter is there or not, I wanted to accept. That means here I can give the question mark. After this, I can give the question mark. What will happen? This question mark, what are the last character is there? Few members will enter that last character, few members will not enter that last character. So it can be acceptable whether that character is there or not, we can accept it. Whether it is there or not, we can accept it. That means here I can say that between 0 to 9, now this is a 3 digit, and then I can say between small a to z question mark, small a to z question mark. Now whatever this question mark is there, this question mark is for this one. The question mark is for this one. So in that case, what will happen? Whether people might enter this one or might not enter. People might enter this one or might not enter. So after whichever the character it is question mark is there. After whichever the character the question mark is there. That means that letter or that digit is not mandatory. I cannot expect every time that digit, or I cannot expect every time that letter. I cannot expect every time that letter. Clear on the question mark? We will see with the example. Now next one is dot. Dot is whatever is expected any character, like it is expecting the dot there. Star is nothing but the zero or more quantities. The star is nothing but zero or more quantities. Like you will say that, now here you will say that star, right? Now this means it could be anything, multiple characters, whatever it could be, you can write it as many as. So we usually sometimes we will say while searching in the developer console or something, you will type your visual course name, VF star, right? Or you are searching your account in the Salesforce, you will say that, okay, Dell star. That means followed by this, that means it starts with a Dell and continues whatever the letter is there, it can continue. It can continue that. So that is the star. Now, right now, I just wanted to validate the phone number. Let's take the phone number, which is a, now, for example, here 3-digit hyphen and again 3-digit hyphen and then 4-digit. So total 10-digit, total 10-digit. This is my phone number. This is the phone number. Now this phone number I wanted to validate. This phone number I wanted to validate. We have to make sure that user is entered in the form of 3 digits hyphen 3 digits hyphen 4 digits. Right, this is the way I want the phone number to be stored in the account. This is the way the phone number is stored in the account. Right, so what we will do is we will go to the, let's go to the Salesforce. Now on the account object, now click on here. Now detail list. Now here we have a phone number. Here we have a phone number. So what I'll do is I'll go to the object manager. And let's open the account here. Fields and relationship. Now we have a phone number, right? So what is the API name of the phone? Is phone. Now let's go to the validation role. Now here, let me write this. Now click on this. Edit. Now I wanted to, and the error message should be a user should be entering in the form of 3 digits hyphen 4. This is the format should be entered. Now, how can I tell the system? There are 2 ways to implement for this. Now, you want this format. If you want this format, what you will say 0 to 9, enter 3 digits. And hyphen again 0 to 9, enter 3 digits. Again I will say 0 to 9, enter 4 digits. Right? So 3 digits are 990 hyphen 0 to 9. Right? So I'll say here also 3 digits. Right? And then I will say, and then finally we have a 4 digit. Now let me add this. The scenario that I'm going to paste it here. I'll check regex, insert regex. The text is we have to insert the phone number. Let's insert the phone. Now here regex text is in the double quotes. I'm going to paste that whatever we have written, right? Whatever we have written, I'll paste that information. Now, whenever this is, if it is not this format, whenever it is not this format, then I wanted to throw an error message. So I'm going to add a not here. I'm going to add not. Whenever it is not this format, then I'm going to throw an error message. Or else what I can do is I wanted to check multiple conditions here. I wanted to check multiple conditions. Now what I can do is another condition I wanted to check is blank. Another one which I wanted to check is blank phone. That means if it is not blank, if it is not blank, here or condition I'm going to put it. Or this one, or this one, or regex. Then we are going to close the or condition here. Then we are going to close the not condition. Or condition, not condition, we are going to close it. Now check the syntax. No errors. I'm checking the or is blank phone number. If it is not a blank and if it is not followed this format, then throw error message saying that enter a phone number in the format of 3 digits hyphen 3 digits hyphen 4 digit. Click on a save button. Click on save. Let me open again. Let's cross verify. Now it is updated. Now I'll say here 54, click on a save. It is throwing an error message. Enter a phone number in the format of, this is the format, right? So I can say here 456 hyphen 234 hyphen, I'll enter only 3 digits here. Click on a save. Still it is giving me error message because the last digit has to be 4 digits. Click on it, save. Now it is accepting me in the form of 3 digits hyphen 3 digits hyphen 4 digits, right? This is the way you can implement it or else. This is the way you can implement it or else. Instead of writing a few developers, what they will do is instead of writing a 0 to 9 character, 0 to 9 here, what they will do is they will add a //d. /d is nothing but which is almost equal to 0 to 9, which is almost equal to 0 to 9. I'm just replacing the 0 to 9 to //d. I'm replacing the 0 to 9 to //d. /d is nothing but which is a equal to the digit 0 to 9. Now here the last one is also, I'm going with the //d and then 4 characters. Right? Now I'm using this. I just replace the 0 to 9 to //d. Now here let's go ahead and then account number, click on edit. Right, instead of this 0 to 9, I'll replace the latest one. Click on save. Check the syntax. Now let me add a bracket here. Let's click on it. Save. Now instead of here 945, I'll say 000 and here 00, 3 zeros and here 4 zeros. Right, or else what you can do is in the form of 3x and here also 3x and here 4x. Click on save. Perfect. Now let's go ahead and see. Now I'll say here, I'll just say some number here, 54, click on a save. It is telling me that enter the phone number in the format of this. Now I'll enter 3 digits. Is it accepting? No. And after that it is expecting me hyphen 3 digits, hyphen 4 digits. Now click on it, save. Now it is accepted. That means few developers will write it in a simple format, which is a 0 to 9, 3 digits. Or few developers, what they will do is instead of using a 0 to 9, they will say that /b and then followed by what are the number of digits that we wanted to accept. So it will be replaced 0 to 9 to /d. Here similarly, you can format if you have a either 10 digit, even credit card also, you can follow the same thing. Credit card is also have a 16 digits or a 10 digits. Now you can follow the same format. You can follow the same format. Now let's assume that I have a IP address. Now we have a IP address. Now this is the IP address. IP address can be entered. Now here IP addresses can be entered just a single digit or a 3 digits or a 2 digits. There are multiple ways of entering the IP address, right? Now the next one is IP address. Validate the IP address. Let's assume that I have a IP address. Now let me create a new field. Now let's take it as a text data type. Text and click on the next button. Now here IP address. Let's take length is probably 10 digits or 15 digits. Click on next. I'll simply use what are the default field level security is there. I'm going to use the field level security. Now this is done. Now here IP address people will be entered 1 digit or people could be entered 2 digits, right? It could be a possible that they are entering here 2 digits, right? Or people can be entered in the 3 digits also, like a 0, 250, 233 or 235 dot 233 dot anything can be entered. That means the way of implementing here, it's not a standard. So far, what is this? This is a standard. I know the user has to enter 3 digits here. It's a fix. It's a fix. Now, user cannot enter two digits here. But if you see here before the dot, user can enter 3 digit, user can enter 2 digit, user can enter 1 digit. That means I have a multiple scenarios are there here. It's not a fix. I cannot say that, okay, user has to enter 3 digits. No, I cannot say that. User, it's up to the user. There are different ways of entering the data. But phone number is, we know that they have to enter the 334, right? 3 digits, 4 digits. They have to enter that format. They cannot enter here 2 digit and then after that 4 digit, then after that 4 digit. No, it's not possible. It is a standard way of entering the phone number. Similarly, here IP address is multiple ways user can enter the IP address. Now, how can we restrict here? Now, let's take a one thing. Now, I'll take a 255. Now, I'll take a this 255. Okay. Now, let's take a 255 just. Now, in 255, I know that user is entering the 25. I know user is entering the 25. So what I can do, I can take any, like a, for example, I can take here, I can take a starting with the 2, starting with 2, right? And could be a second digit should be a anything between the 0 to 4, 0 to 4 or 0 to 5 and anything between the, now here I can say that 0 to 5. and this is also 0 to 9. Let's say 0 to 9. This is also 0 to 9, but it goes up to only 255. Now this can be entered. That means single digit is a first digit is a 2, which I know. First digit is 2, which I know. This has to be a 2. Whenever user is entering starting with the 2, it has to be a 2. And followed by, I can use any of the 0 to 5 in between and then 0 to 9 in between. Or else, what I can say is, now first two digits are common. First two digits are common. So what I'll do, I'll take a 25 and the third digit should be anything between the 0 to 5. 0 to 5. So they can enter the 0 to 54, to 53, to 52, to 51, whatever the digits are there. Right? So from the 25, like a 250, 251, 252, 253, 254, 255, right? Till that part it can capture. Now, in case you wanted to just check from the 2 level, like it could be possible that from the 200 onwards. So this is equal to from the 200 to 2, let's take it as a 249. In between any digit they can enter. In between any digit they can enter. So this one is, it starts with a 200. From the 200 to 249, you can use anything. Now the below one is, it starts with a 250. It starts with 250 to till 255. They can enter any number. They can enter any number. Now here I have distributed here. I have saying that 200 to 249, anything can be entered. 250 to 255, anything can be entered if I use this. Now similarly, now this is 200 onwards. Now for example, if they are entering 2 digit, if they are entering single digit, what should happen? Now let's say that single digit, if it is a single digit, now possible that user might enter the single digit like they have entered here 1 or 01 they have entered. 01 they have entered. It is possible that user might enter 01 or 8. Maybe they can enter the different. It is possible that 01 or else they can say that 0 to 9, 2 digits, right? So 2 digits is, user can enter the 2 digits 0 to 9 and also between the 0 to 9. Anything they can enter. Anything they can enter. That means this will start with 0, 0 to up to anything in 20 digit, which is till 99. Till 99. It goes up to 99. Right? Now here, 100 to 200 I need to cover. 100 to 200 I need to cover. Right? So there are different ways of doing it. So this is the, what I'm dividing is, first I'm taking it starts with 200. Okay, let's take the 200 to 249, which is I'm converting here. And or user might enter 250 to 255. Okay, user might enter between the 200 to 249. User might enter 250 to 255. User might enter between the 00 to 99. Between the 00 to 99, or user can enter single digit, or user can enter the single digit. So this is the common IP address which is in that range. Common IP address ranges are, this is the range, right? It can have a 200, 200, 200, 200. So these are the ranges for the IP address. Now like this, how many times I need to enter? I need to enter almost 4 times I have to enter. Almost 4 times I have to enter. Now I'll format this. Now I'll combine all of this. Now what I'll do is, user can enter single digit, or user can enter 2 digit, which is a 01, or user can enter 3 digits, right? User can enter in 3 digits only. They can enter the 255. The last one is 255. And they can enter the from 250 range onwards, or they can enter the 250 range onwards. Now, these are the different ways they can implement. Now, what I'll do is, right? So, first of all, there is a possibility that they might enter single digits or digits. It is possible that user might enter the 2 digits, user might enter the single digits. Here I am putting a question mark. That means this last character is there, which is mandatory or might not enter. User might not enter. They just enter the 0 and then, or they just enter the 0 1. Could be possible that they are entering the 0 1 or they are entering the 1, right? Sometimes they enter 0 1 or sometimes they enter just a 0 or sometimes they enter 1, right? Different ways they can enter it. So we should accept it, whether it is a 0 1 or whatever the format is there, we can accept, right? Now here this is the one. And then next I'm going to cover the 2 digits. So 2 digits might be between the 0 to 9 and 0 to 9. Zero to 9. And the 2 digits might be possible they are entering or they might be not entering. This is one condition. And here, in order to add the OR condition, I'm just adding this OR. This is OR. This is OR. I'm adding the OR condition here. In order to OR is nothing but in the regex, we use this one slash the single line pipeline. Single pipeline, we use it as a OR. Right, so I'll take here 255. Now user might enter this one, or user might enter this one, 200 ranges, or user might enter some single digits, right? So this is possible. Now let me add this. I'm just adding only this first one. I have not added the dot yet. I have not added the dot yet. I'm just adding this. I'm just adding this. Now let's take this 255. Now let's go ahead and implement a validation rule. New validation rule. Validate IP address. Okay, so I'm going to use the regex. Insert text is which is IP address, the one which we have created. Insert IP address, regex text is. Now here in the double quotes, I'll just add this one. I'm just adding the first 3 digits. This is first 3 digits. User can enter the 3 digits. User can enter the 200 ranges. User can enter the single digit, and then user can enter this along with the single digit double digits also. So it is possible that they are just entering this one, or they are just entering this one, right? Or they are just entering the single character. They are just entering the single character. Now here I'm going to add no. Now here I'll close it. Click on check syntax. No error. I'll say that please enter valid 3 digits. Valid 3 digits. Click on it, save. Now I'll go here. Let's refresh. Okay, details, IP address which we have added. I'm just entering the 0. Click on save. Is it allowing the single digit? Yes, it is allowing it. Now I'll enter just 2 digits, 56. Click on save. Is it allowing it? Yes, it is allowing. Now I'll just enter the 230. Is it allowing me? Yes, it is allowing me. Now then I'll enter the 255. Click on save. Yes, it is allowing. So that means in this IP address, I can enter a single digit, I can enter a 2 digits, I can enter a 3 digits. Now after that, if I type a dot, it will give an error because we have not added the dot in our logic. We have not added the dot in our logic. We are just taking the either user can enter single digit or 2 digit, or user can enter the 200 ranges, or user can enter the 250 ranges, right? That is what we have added, right? So it can accept anything. Now if I say here 275, click on a save, it will give an error. It will give an error. The reason is, now after the 2, what is we are expecting? It has to be between the 0 to 4. It has to be between the 0 to 4. If you are adding a 5, after 5 it will take only 0 to 5. You can enter 250, 251, 252, 253, 254, 255. Up to 255 it can accept. IP ranges are up to 255. IP ranges are up to 255. If you are trying to enter after the 255, like 270 or 275, whatever you are entering, it should not accept. Right? Now here I'll say here, okay, 245, click on save, it will accept. Right? This is the first thing. Now after this, what I need is, I need a dot. I need dot. Now after this, I'm going to add dot. So simply either you can add a dot here, and I'm just adding the dot. Click on it, save. Let's see what happens if I add a dot. Edit, click on save. It is accepting. It is accepting. So simply you cannot add a dot there. Simply you cannot add a dot. So it should be after this slash, right, dot. And here I am going to enter only 3 digits. Only 3 digits. Now dot I am adding here along with the slash. Along with the slash, and then 3. Let me add this on the single. Click on a save. Click on save. Now let's go here. Click on edit. After 245, it should accept the dot. If I don't enter the dot, it is giving me error. So if after 245, I should enter the dot. If I give a dot, then it will accept. If I give a dot, it will accept. That means out of this IP address, I am able to fulfill the first part of it. I am able to fulfill the first part of it. Now, the similar format is there for each one of them. Whatever we have implemented this, this is their same logic is applies to the second and the third. Second and third, it will apply same. Whatever we have written, this logic is after whatever the slash is there. Now that means after the slash dot, again I have to repeat the same thing. Again, I have to repeat the same thing. After that, again, I have to repeat the same thing. Right? So till this point, I need to repeat the same logic multiple times. Same logic multiple times. Instead of repeating the logic again and again, so what I'll do is, anyway, same thing I'm using it here. Now I'll say that let me put this into the bracket. Now here I'm going to say that 3 times repeated. 3 times repeated along with the dot. It has a 4 digits. The fourth one is, we will see later. Right now what I'm doing is, this is repeated 3 times. Whatever this logic is there, this logic repeated for the 3 times. because the same logic applies here, same logic applies here, same logic is applies here. Now, if I wanted to, this logic is we have already implemented. This logic we have already implemented. In order to implement this logic, we have done this, right? Now, same thing I need to implement for this, same thing I need to implement for this, right? So instead of writing them multiple times, I'll say here repeat it for 3 times. Repeat it for 3 times. Now let me go and add that. Now let me put everything into the bracket. Already there. Now what I'm going to do is I'll just add here repeat it for 3 times. Check the syntax. No error it is saying. The reason is it has to be within the bracket. Now till this point, and then I'm going to put this curly braces within the double quotes. Check the syntax. No error. Click on save. Now I'll say here error messages. Error messages, please enter the valid. So it has to be 3 digits dot, 3 digits dot, 3 digits dot. It has to be this format. Now let's go ahead and add that. Click on edit. Now let's save this. It is saying that please enter the valid. Now again I'll add here 34 dot. Save. Again it is saying that enter the 3 times. Now I'll add it here 0 dot. Save. It is accepted. Right? So first dot, right? 245 dot, 34 dot, 0 dot. Right? So 3 times I have added it here, which is nothing but here I'm adding it to 55 dot, 255 dot, 255 dot. Click on save. Save. So that means what I'm doing here, I'm repeating the same logic for 3 times. I'm repeating the same logic for 3 times. Right? Why not 4th time? Because 4th time is there is no dot here. There is no dot here. Now what I'll do is, as there is a no dot after this 3 digits, now I'm going to build complete IP address here. I'm going to build complete IP address. In order to build the complete IP address, now I'll take this. This is working fine up to this point. Now the next point I need to do is this one. Right? So what I'll do is whatever this is there, I'm going to copy this. I'm going to copy this. But only the thing is that I do not have a dot. I do not have a dot. Now I'll close this. Perfect. And finally, outer structure, I'm putting one bracket. Outer structure, I'm putting a bracket. Now I'll copy everything. Now till this part we know, and what I have added is I just copied whatever it is there. I just copied that length is here. Then I remove the slash dot. Then I remove the slash dot because we do not have a dot at the end. Now let me see whether it is working or not. Edit. Now this whatever in the double quotes, I'll use the double quotes this one. Check syntax. Now let's save it. Okay, this time I'll go and if I enter only 3, it will give an error. Now let me update the error message. After dot XX, again we have to enter the 3 digits. Click on save. Now it is not accepting it. Now finally I'll say here 0. Click on save. Click on save. Now it is not accepting it. It is not accepting it. Now what I'll do is, now here we have some concept is which is called as a exact match. Now after this it has to be exact match. So what we are doing here, after the 3, I am adding the 2505, right, or 200 ranges, or 01, or whatever the question mark is there, and adding it. Now after this I'll simply add, let's say, whatever this is there. Now let's go to the notepad. Now paste it here. Now simply what I'll do is, after the question mark, whatever the after question mark is there, after the question mark, I'll take the dollar. After the question mark, I'll take the dollar here. Dollar is nothing but exact match. Now let's go ahead and implement this. Now let me copy. Is everything is working fine? I think one extract is added. Okay, that is the close, and then we have it. This is not required. Now let's copy and paste it. Check the syntax. No error. Click on save. Click on save. Now it is accepting me to 55.250.255. Dollar is nothing but exact match. Whatever it is expecting up to that, it should be match. Now here, this is the one. Now what I'm saying, instead of star, at the end, I'm saying here dollar. Dollar is nothing but matches the previous token between the 0 to 1 time. Right? It is matches. Whatever the matching is there, it has to take care of the matching. Now this is how in the real time, if you want to cross check any IP address or a SSN number or Aadhaar card number or any flight ticket, flight booking tickets, or anything that you wanted to cross verify or you wanted to validate whatever the user is entering, whether the user is entering the valid number or not, in order to cross check, you have to implement this kind of a regex. This kind of a regex you need to implement. So usually in the real time, either we do it for the phone number or SSN number or kind of a IP address, or IP address. Why we need it? Because if you are working with a third party system, and in case if you wanted to track the IP addresses of the third party system, those scenarios you create a IP address field on the object, right? That is these are the different characters. If you want to verify, this is how we will be doing the regex. Any questions on this regex? Regex is a regular expression, is a mostly it is a practical. So it's a based on your scenario. So if you want to add a hyphen, now here what we have done is, for example, you wanted to add 0 to 9, 0 to 9, and after this you wanted to add a hyphen, right? So what you can do is double slashes hyphen. Now this you wanted to repeat it for the 3 times. Along with the hyphen, you wanted to repeat. Similarly, what we have done it here, right? Now here I'm saying it Let's take this. We'll remove all the OR conditions. Now here, now let me remove the 255. Now 0 to 9 / dot 3 times. Repeat it for 3 times. If you want a 3 digits, after 3 digits only if you want, then you have to say here. Now here it should be 3 digits. Here it should be 3 digits. Now 0 to 9 has to be a 3 digits and then / hyphen, repeat it for the 3 times. If you are doing it for the phone number, it has to be only 2 digits. Clear? Okay, any other questions? Is there anybody who did not understood the regular expression? Okay, let's move on. Record type. Let's new topic is record type. New topic is record type. Now, what is this record type? New topic is record type. What is this record types? Why do we need a record types? What is the necessary for to have a record types? Let's see what is the reason that we need a record types. Let's take a scenario that the scenario is somebody is in the US. Somebody is in US. Now this person is want to send a courier. This person is would like to send a courier to the India. They want to send a courier to the India. When they want to send a courier to the India, what are the different options they have? They can send it through the airplanes, or what are the flights are there through the airplanes, or maybe possibility is that they can send it through the some boats or ships, right? These are the two options. These are the two options. Let's assume that it's a US is too long. Now I can say here instead of a US, let's take it as a Hyderabad to Delhi. I wanted to send a courier Hyderabad to Delhi. Hyderabad to Delhi also have a plane, right? And boats also available. Assume that boats is also they can send it, or else they can send it in the other ways like a car. Through the car also they can send it, or else trucks. Usually trucks will travel between the Hyderabad to Delhi, or else the train. There are multiple options are available, or else if somebody is going for a long drive on the motorcycle, right? So they can send it through the motorcycle. So there are so many ways they can send the courier to the this location. But the problem is here, whenever they wanted to send a courier through these many different ways are there. But if you see here, when you say through the airplanes or through the boat, right, that time you might need to capture few details. Right, you might need to capture the few details which are related to the transportation details, and these transportation details are which is suitable for airplanes. That means here you need to track the plane, what are the booking ID, right? And what are the weight is there, the weight, all those things you need to consider here. And when you go for a boat, You need not to consider the weight. Weight is not necessary to consider. But you have to consider is boat number. Whatever the ship number is there, the ship number will be a different from the aeroplane number. Ship number is different from the aeroplane. And what time and how after how many days this ship will reach to the Delhi. Right? Number of days also I wanted to capture. When it is a car, here I wanted to understand how many, like who is the person that is bringing, taking care of this courier. The person name is very important. Person name is very important. Person phone number is important. Person phone number is important. And person, the car number is important. Whatever the car number is there, I wanted to capture the car number here. Now, if they are sending through the truck, then I need to get the truck owner name. Whoever is the truck owner is there, the truck owner name, right? And then if they are sending the some truck, what is the truck number? Okay, what is the truck number? And when this truck is going to reach to Delhi, right? These few details I wanted to get it. If it is a train, then I wanted to capture the train number. And inside that train number, there are so many blocks are there. In the train, so many blocks. Which block the courier is there? Which block the courier is there? And on that courier, there is a name will be there. What is the name that is mentioned? Or there is a number will be there on the courier. So that number we need to capture it. If it is a motorcycle, I need to get the motorcycle person name. I need to get the motorcycle person name and when this person is going to reach it and what are the items that we are sending through the motorcycle, right? So if you observe, courier is the same here. Courier is the object. Let's assume here courier is the object. I wanted to do the courier. But when I do the courier, through the different transportation, I need to capture the different data. If I'm doing a courier through the boat transportation, then I need to capture the different data. If I'm doing the courier through the car transportation, then I wanted to capture the different details, which is completely different from the ship. Or if I wanted to capture the motorcycle, which is motorcycle transportation is completely different from the aeroplane, right? So the data that we are logging based on the transportation is a different. Object is the same. Courier is the object. But in this object, data we are entering is a completely different for the aeroplane, and completely different for the motorcycle, completely different for the truck. Whatever the different transportations are there, but this all the transportation, the data is entered in a different. Data is entered differently. Now, should I need to create a different objects because of I have a different data? No need to be. You need not to create a separate object because you have a different data. You can maintain the single object. Single object name is a courier. Inside the object, you can create a record type. Airplanes record type, boat record type, cars record type, truck record type. Because when you create this when you create these record types, every individual record type is associated with the page layout. That means for every record type, you can create your own page layout. Your page layout. Now, for record type aeroplanes, we need a page layout which will capture only the flight details. And record type truck. Now, in this, I need a page layout which will capture the details only related to the truck information. Now, in case if I do not create a record type, what will happen? Assume that I will not create a record type. I'll not create a record type. And in the courier object, I'll create these all sections I'll created in aeroplane. I'll put this, in board these fields, in car these fields, truck these fields, train these fields, motorcycle these fields. My page layout, how my page layout looks like. My page layout is very big. It's a very big. In this, I have it so much of data. I have it so much data, that is aeroplane details, boat details, car details, truck details, train details, motorcycle details. For example, the person is sending the courier through the car. When they are sending the car, now this car, here it is a car details are there. I'll just enter only the car details. Right, when I enter the only the car details, what will happen to the data that is sitting here? What will happen to the data that is sitting here? It will look like a blank screen. Unnecessarily, I'm showing this data onto the page layout. And user gets confused. Why you are showing me the aeroplane, boat, train, motor? Why you are showing all this information when I am sending a courier to the only car? Right? Don't show me all this information. So customers are getting frustrated because when you enter only the car details, rest of the details are empty. Rest of the details are empty. Now it seems like there is so much of fields are there and so many information we have to enter, but it's not mandatory for the car courier. It is not mandatory for the car courier. When it is not mandatory for not courier, do not display this unnecessary information on the page layout. Unnecessary information on the page layout. In that case, what we can do is simply we can go with the record types and associated page layout. That means for aeroplane, I can create a different page layout. For boat, I can create a different page layout. For car, I can create a different page layout. For trucks, I can create a different page layout. For motorcycle, I can create a different page layout. And if I create a different page layout and different record type, tomorrow after 6 months, if somebody asks any question regarding how many couriers are went through the boat, how many couriers are went through the boat, or how many couriers are went by car, or how many courier details, like what is the in last 6 months, how much we use the truck, which all are places it has traveled, right? What are the through the train, what did we courier in last 6 months? If they wanted to know all these details, it is easy to generate a report also. It is easy to generate a data because I can simply use the record type aeroplane and get all the details here. Get all the details of the courier details of the aeroplane. Right, this is the scenario. Similarly, in the business side, in the business side, for example, let's take an opportunity or let's take a lead. Sometimes there are different information I need to capture for the customer lead. If it is a customer lead, then I need to capture different information. Or if it is now in the DMart, that is the best example. In the DMart, whoever is working in the DMart, if they wanted to create a lead within the DMart, the people who are working in the DMart, if they wanted to create a lead, for them it should be a different form. For them it should be a different form. In DMart, we have a working people who are working. They are the one. Also, you have a customers. If it is a customer is logging into the DMart, if it is customer is logging into the DMart, then you have to show them the different form. The people already who are working in the DMart, for them we should show the different form. I cannot show the same form for both of them. Who are working in the DMart, I cannot show the customer form to the working people because they are already working. They might need to enter only 2 fields. They might need to enter only 2 fields. But who are the customers? Customers might need to enter 10 fields of data. 10 fields data they might have to enter. Right, so here in lead also we have a customer lead or a partner lead. For partner, we should show the different page, right? And I need to capture the different data. If it is a working members, I need to capture the different data. I need to capture the different data. So if it is a customer lead, I might need to capture the data which is related to the customer and new customer details, which is a more of the new information. Partner lead is, now here partner lead is, I might need to capture the different information. Partner lead is nothing but this person is our partner. This is a partner. Now our partner, whenever our partner is and creating the lead, then I need not to show the same, I need not to capture the same data which is capturing for the customers. For partners, I'll capture the different information. Even same thing, whoever is working, if the working people want to go for a lead or they wanted to buy a car or they wanted to buy some product, they are already working in the same company, but they also have they wanted to buy a car, right? In that case, if the working people are creating a lead, I should be capturing the different data. I should be capturing the different data. Now, if you go to the ICICI Bank, if you open the ICICI Bank, let's open ICICI Bank. Now here, if you look at this, now if you click on this personal, if you click on it, personal, and when you say here personal login, when you click on a personal login, you will see this screen. You will see this screen. This is a personal login screen. Whereas instead of a personal, I'll say that corporate. I'll say corporate. When it is a corporate login, when it is a corporate members want to log in. Now this is the screen I wanted to show. Personal login is a different screen. Corporate login is a different screen. Similarly, I wanted to go for example, this time I wanted to go for a NRI bank. I wanted to go for a NRI banking. Now, if it is a NRI banking, then I need to capture the different data. So in order to capture the different data, I need to show different information. Now, where I have here NRI information, right? So these are the different information I need to capture. So that means based on the person, based on the data, what is the data that I'm capturing it? If your data is different for each different type of a customer, if your data is different based on your customer, then in that case, you need to create a record type. In that case, you need to create a record type. Now, record types are it controls the page layout and the pick list. What is the data to be shown? What is the pick list should be shown? Right? It will control the what is the page layout. Or basically, if you want to say this, record types are used to provide the different page layout to different users with a different set of fields and with different pick list values for different user, for a different business. Based on the business, based on the user, if you are capturing the different data, then you need to create a record type. That record type is associated with the page layout. Also, it is associated with the pick list values, right? So we will see that the record types are used to provide the different page layout to different users with a different data set of a field and with a different pick list values of different business needed. Record types are also called as a business type or a business record. Record types are also called as a business type or a business record. That means if you have a different business, if you have a different customers for your business, for all those different customers, you cannot ask same data. Now, if it is a customer, for the new customer, you can ask the phone number, first name, last name, email. But the person who is already working in the same company or the person who is existing customer, You cannot ask again the what is your first name, what is your last name, what is your email address, what is your address, permanent address. Those all details I cannot ask the existing customers or the working people. I cannot ask them, right? It has to be a different data I need to capture. I need to capture the different data. So in that case, we use record types. Record types are applicable for both standard and custom object. You can implement the record types for a standard object as well as the custom object. And record types are, for example, if it is a account type, if it is a accounts, on the accounts you have a different type of a members you wanted to capture the data. Now in that case you wanted to capture the customer account, partner account, right? Right, these are the different accounts. So when you have a customer account, you wanted to capture different type of a data. When you have a partner account, you wanted to capture the different type of a data, because these two are different groups. These two are different groups. In that case, I'll go for a record type. Similarly, on the opportunity, you have an online opportunity, retail opportunity, offline opportunity. There are different type of opportunities are there. If it is an online opportunity, I wanted to capture the different type of data. If it is a retail opportunity, I wanted to capture the different type of data. Right? Whenever you wanted to capture the different type of data within the single object is called record types, and that time only we use record types. Similarly, campaign is a trade show website, right? This is a pick list right now, but in case if you want to use completely different data for the trade show, or you wanted to use a completely different data for the website, now in that case what you can do is you can create a record type in the campaign. Take a notes of it. Is it done? Taking the notes? Okay. Let's move on. Why nobody is responding from the offline screen one? Is anybody there in the screen? Okay. Now record types. Now here, let's take few notes on the record type. Few notes on the record type. Once you create a record type, or once you configure the record type in the object, record types are created on the object level. Record types are created on the object level. Once you create a record type on the object level, then Salesforce will add a new column in the object. That means Salesforce will create a new field which is called as a record type. Once you create a record type on the object, or once you enable or once you implement a record type on the object level, Salesforce is going to create a one field on the object level which is called as a record type ID. Automatically, backend one field gets created. Now let me show you that. Now here I have a account. In the account level, if I go to the fields and relationship, and if I search here record type, am I able to see any field here? No, I cannot see, right? For example, let's go ahead and create a record type on the account. On the account, I'm creating the record type. In order to create a record type on the account level, we have an option called record types. Click on this record types. Click on the record types. Once you click on the record types, it will ask you to create a new record type. Now I'll click on the new record type. Let's assume I'm creating the record type, customer record type. Whenever we are creating a new record type here, the step one is it is going to ask you that what is the record type name and what is the API name. Do you want to activate this record type or not? Now, sometimes if you have a already existing record type, you can choose the existing record type here. Right now, we do not have any record types on the account. So I'll just click on the new button. As soon as I click on the new button, it is asking me to enter. So for example, I'm entering the customer account. Right? So API name is automatically taken. Now this is the active. Now below it is saying that who all our profiles can see this record type. Who all profiles can see this record type. Now you can select, if you have any specific, you can select who all our profiles can see this record type. Now I'll click on the next button. I have just given the record type name. Then I clicked on the next button. Step 2 is it is asking to assign a page layout. How many page layouts do I have? I have 4 page layouts. Now let me open the page layout. Now this is the page layout. Now here I have a 4 page layouts. Account layout, account support layout, account sales layout, account marketing layout. Right, for example, I'm giving here for all of them, I wanted to give for each profile, I wanted to give account layout, or if you want to specify that this profile should be account layout, rest all profile should be the different layout, and system admin should be the account layout. Right, you can differentiate it. Or else for all the profiles you want account layout. Then choose the first one. Or else if you want it individually, you wanted to choose it. No, charter free user should have a support, and then partner application should have a support, and read only profile should have a support layout. If you have a different assignment or a different layout, they should be seeing it. You can assign it individually, or else you can simply assign for all the profiles I wanted to show them as a account layout. This account layout is per record type. I'm creating the record type. In the step 1, I have given the record type. Once I have specified the record type, second step is that it is asking you to assign a layout for the record type. Now we are assigning the layout to the record type. So each record type will be associated with the page layout. It could be a different page layout, it could be a same page layout. It could be a different page layout, it could be a same page layout. Now, this is the last screen. If I click on save, the record types gets created. If I click on save, record type gets created. Now before that, I'll show you one thing here. Now if I go to the account, if I click on a new button, what is happening directly? It is opening the new page. Directly, it is opening the new page. But as soon as I click on a record type, I'm saving the record type here. Now record type is created, right? As soon as the record type is created, if you go to the field level, you can see there is a field list gets created by default, which is called as a account record type ID. So whenever you create a record type, automatically Salesforce will generate a field for the record type. Now, every record type the Salesforce is going to generate it? No, only for the first record type it is going to generate the record type ID. Only for the first one it is going to generate the record type ID. Now you can see here record type ID is generated, which is the data type is record type. Data type is record type. So this field is automatically created at the backend. Now, let me refresh. Now the record type is created. We have assigned the page layout. Now let me close this. Now if I click on a new button, what is happening? It is also displaying the layout, which is fine because we have only one record type. Let's assume that I'm going to create another record type, which is a partner. I'm creating another record type, which is a partner account. Now here, do I want to create a similar to the customer account? You can choose the similar one, or else you can choose the master. I'll say here, this is a partner account. Now this is a by default. I wanted to let them show everybody this one. And if you want to make it as a default. First time, whenever you are creating the record type, by default, that record type is a default. Second time, whenever you are creating a record type, it will ask you that do you want to make this as a default or the previous one. Now the first one is always a default record type. Now here, I click on the next button. And I can click on save button. But before clicking on the save button, now before we have created a record type which is called as a customer account, right? Now I click on the new button. Let's say that I'm creating here new account. Let's say I'm creating here Genpack. Okay, so this is my account. I'll click on the save. As soon as I click on save, gmail.com, click on the save button. Okay. Dot 3 digits, dot 4 digits, click on save. What is happening? Okay, rating dot, click on save. Type should be prospect, click on save. Valid IP address 255.4.5.6. Click on save. Now the account is created. Now if you look at here on the account level, there is a field that gets added. Now do you see anywhere the record type? Now record type is not here. Now what I'll do is I'll go to the page layout, account layout. I'll add the record type field on the page layout. I'll add the record type field on the page layout. I'm going to put this, whatever the new record type is, paste it here, click on see. Let's refresh. Now the account record type is customer account. Customer account. So whenever you are creating a record type in the Salesforce, the first record type is a default record type. Default, that is a Salesforce is by default, they will make it as a first record type as a default. First record type as a default. Let's assume I'm creating the second record type, which is called as a partner account. Now let's click on a save button. For this also I am assigning the same page layout, which is the account layout. Perfect. Now let's go ahead and create a account. Let's click on a save here. Now I have a two record types. I have two record types. Now I'll click on the new button here. When I click on the new button, this time it is going to ask you that do you want to create a customer account or do you want to create a partner account? Do you want to create a partner account? If you want to create a customer account, choose the customer. If you want to create a partner account, choose the partner account. Similar to the ICICI Bank. When you are first log into the ICICI Bank, here you have an option. Do you want to log in as a NRI bank or a personal or a corporate or B2B digital, or do you want to log in as a different person? Similarly, in Salesforce also, it will ask you that which type of account you wanted to create. Do you want to create a customer account? Do you want to create a partner account? Or if I create another record type, then it will ask you that another record type also here. Let's say I'm going to create another record type. Now click on the record type. Click on new. Now I'm creating the another one. This is the individual person. Individual person. Click on save, activate it, make it available for everybody, and click on the next button. Now this also I am saying the account page layout, account layout. Now click on the save. Once I click on the save, now let me refresh this page. Now click on the new button. Now this time I'll see three record types. We did not make it active. Record types. Now all three are active. Let's refresh. Click on a new button. Right, customer account, individual person, partner account. Now I have a three record types. Now I can choose any one of them and click on the next button. When I click on the next button, that page layout gets open. It will open up the page layout. Whatever the page layout is associated to here, that page layout gets open. Right, so this is the page layout level. Now this is how we create a record type. Now let me deactivate the validation rules. Let's deactivate this and deactivate this also. And let's deactivate the phone number. Now, so if you observe right now, whether it is a I'm creating the individual person. Now, whenever I click on here, new button, And as soon as I click on the customer account, on top, it is going to say that you are creating a new account for a customer account. For customer account, if I choose a different record type, now click on a next button, it will say that you are creating a new account for an individual person. For individual person. If you choose another record type, the same record type is going to show here. Now, if you observe, all three of the record types having a same page layout. Same page layout. Now, what I'll do is I'll create a page layout. I'll create another page layout. Let's click on a new page layout. Now, I'll take the copy of the account layout. This is for the individual person layout. Individual person layout. Individual person layout, click on a save. Now, for individual person, I do not need to ask industry details. I need not to ask industry details. I need not to ask annual revenue. I need not to ask credit card being needed. And service tax, I do not need it. Right? Find miles, seconds, I do not need it. IP address, we do not need it for the individual person. Icon drive, website is might not be needed for the individual. This is also not needed. Employees is not required. SIC is not required. No billing address, shipping address. SLA details are not required for the individual person. Right? So these are the information I wanted to show you. Click on it, save. What I'm doing, I'm creating the new page layout. Now the new page layout is created individual person layout. Now this page layout, I wanted to assign it to the record type called. I need to assign this page layout to the record type, which is a individual person or a person record type or individual person. In order to assign this page layout, we have to click on the page layout assignment. We have to click on the page layout assignment. When you click on a page layout assignment, on top, you will see all the record types. Whatever the record types are there, you will see all the record types here. This is the by default master record type. This is the customer record type, and this is the individual record type, and this is the partner account. These are the record types. Those are the record types. Now, for example, I wanted to change the record type for the individual person. For the individual person, I wanted to change it. Click on the edit assignment. Click on edit assignment. Once you click on edit assignment, select this. Which are the one you wanted to change it, select that. For individual person, what I did is, I clicked on the control and I clicked on the here. Hold the control key and click on this. Hold the control key, click on this. Right now 0 selected. Now if I hold the control key and click on this, 46 are selected. 46 profiles are there. For all the 46 profiles, it is selected. Now I can assign individual person layout to the record type called individual person. Now let's click on the save. Okay, now I can see that page layout, individual record types are assigned to page layout called individual person layout. Now if I go to the account level, let's refresh. Now if I click on a new button, and if I choose the individual person, click on it, next. Now how many fields I can see here? This is the individual person. Page layout is not updated. Inspect. refresh, and also let's do the hard refresh. Click on this empty cache and hard reload. And click on the new button. Individual person, click on the next. Let me switch to classic. Okay. So accounts, click on a new button. I wanted to choose the individual person, click on a continue. Now I can see that only different layout I can see, all the SIS, right? Whatever the SLA related, those fields I cannot see right now. Those fields I cannot see. This is the individual person. So the layout is, for this, what is the layout? If you click on this, you edit layout, it will take you to the layout called individual person layout. This is individual person layout. Right, so like this we will be assigning it, like this we will be assigning it. For example, now individual person layout, I do not want to show the installation partner, technology partner, other, right? This is for the individual. Now I have updated the page layout. Similarly, we need this pick list field, but in this pick list field, I do not want to show all the values. I do not want to show all the values. Probably I can show only the customer direct, customer channel. Only these two I wanted to show it to the individual person. Individual record type, I wanted to show only these two values. I needed type field on the page layout, but in the pick list values, I do not want to show all of this. I do not want to show all of this. Right? Similarly, ownership. Ownership, I just wanted to show public and private. The rest two, I do not want to show. So what we can do is go to the record type. Now, which record type we are thinking? Individual person. Open that record type. When you open the record type, you can choose which one you want. For example, for type is a pick list field. These all are pick list fields that are available inside the account object. Now here is the type is the pick list field. Now I'll say that when you click on the type, it will ask you the record type edit account type. You are going to the field called type on the record type, which is individual person. That means on the individual person record type, which are the fields that you wanted to show. I wanted to show only customer direct, customer channel. I wanted to show only these two. Rest all I do not want to show. So click on save. Similarly, I have a ownership. For ownership also, I just wanted to show only public and private. Click on save. Public and private, click on save. Now let's go to the account. Click on refresh. Now here, if you click on the type, you will see customer direct, customer channel. Ownership, you will see only two. So the notes here is once we enable or configure the record type in the object, Salesforce will add a new column or a new field on the object is called record type ID. That's what we have seen right now. That's what we have seen, the record type ID created automatically at the backend. That means upon creating the new record inside the object, it will store the selected record type ID in the record type ID field. Now, if I created this record, here what it is coming automatically, it is saying that account record type ID equal to individual person. It will automatically store the ID here. Whatever the record type ID is there, it will automatically store that ID. So to see the record type of the record, we place the record type field on the layout. That's what I have placed on the layout. Take a notes of it. Done? Okay. Now, record types are used to capture the different information for each type. This is, as we were discussing from last 10 minutes, record types are used to capture the different information for each type, like a different data in the field or different values I wanted to show in the pick list. So right now we have modified it, right? So allow users to access to only the records that are relevant to their job. Whatever the relevant to their purpose is there, just show only those information. And these are record types are used to capture the different information. It is used to allow the user to access only the records that are relevant to their jobs. Now, how do I create a record types? Before setting up the record types, you first have to complete the following steps. Before creating the record type in the real time, you have to make sure that all the custom fields are available on the object. All the custom fields are available on the object. That is the before creating the record type. And then create the page layout. Before creating the record type, first create the page layout. First create the page layout which you wanted to assign it to the record type. Right now what we have done is first we have created the record type and then we have created the page layout. Then after that I have assigned the page layout. 3 steps which I have done it right now. But in the real time what we will do is first we will create a page layout. What are the page layout that are used by the record type? We will create a page layout. First step is we will create a page layout. Once the page layout is created, then we will create a record type. We will associate that record type with those page layouts. So that I need to perform another option which is called as a assign page layout. Now so the two things are mandatory whenever you are creating the record types. The first one is a custom field, second one is a page layout. So you need to check that do you have a custom field, all the custom fields, or do you have all the page layout that is necessary. Then you are ready to create your record type. Then you are ready to creating a record type. Take a notes of it. Okay. Now let's move on. So in order to create a record type, now so far we have seen the go to setup, object manager, select the account, Then you need to select the record type. Click on the record type and you need to enter the label name. As soon as you enter the label name, API name is automatically taken. Then you have to specify the description. And once you click on the next step, it will ask you to assign the page layout. Then simply save the record type. Only two steps are there in order to create a record type. You need to create a record type on the specific object. On the first screen, it is going to ask you to enter the record type name. Then in the second screen, it is going to ask you to assign the page layout. Then once it is done, click on a save button. Now, in case if you want to modify the pick list field values that you wanted to show only few pick list values for each record type, then you can update those pick list values or you can customize those pick list values. Right? Now, take a notes of this. Now, so far, we have created the record type on the account. On the account, it is easy to create a record type. How about on the opportunity? Okay, we will see why it is, whether we can create a record type on the opportunity or not. Done? Okay. Now let's see on the opportunity. So on account, it was straightforward, we can create it. But let's go to the object manager. On the opportunity, I wanted to create a record type. I wanted to create a record type. Now on the opportunity, I'll go here, click on the record types. I'll click on the new record type. I wanted to create an online opportunity. As soon as I click on a new button, it is giving me error. It is giving me the warning message. It is giving me the warning message saying that opportunity record must be associated with the sales process. Must be associated with the sales process. When the opportunity come into play, whenever the sale is happening, the sale is started, lead has converted to the opportunity. That means all the inquiry of the lead is completed. Now they are dealing with the sale. They are selling the product. So the opportunity is more of related to the sale or more of related to the revenue product, right? So for opportunity, it is very important before creating the record type, you should create or you should associate the sales process. You are currently do not have an active sales process. So before creating the record type, we have to make sure that there is a sales process is enabled in the organization. In the organization, we have to make sure that there is a sales process is enabled. If the sales process is enabled, then only you can create the record type in the opportunity. Now, how do you enable the sales process? In the setup, just search for here sales. In the setup, search here sales. Now you have here sales process. Under the codes, you have a sales process. Click on a new button. We simply creating the one sales process. Let's say that this is the opportunity sales process. Opportunity sales process. Click on a save. Now I wanted to show all the pick list values, whatever is there on the stage, opportunity stage. By default, everything I wanted to show. Click on save. Now we have created a sales process which is called as a opportunity. Now let me refresh this. Click on a record type. Click on it, record type, and let's use the new button. Now it is allowing me to create an opportunity. Now it is allowing me to create an opportunity. But there is a one extra field in the opportunity. It will ask you to associate with the sales process. It will ask you to associate with the sales process. Right now we have created an opportunity. Let's say I wanted to create an online retail. Online opportunity I wanted to create. So in the opportunity, whenever you are creating the record type, it has to associate with the sales process. So that's the reason creating a sales process is very important. Now, what it is saying that use this page to create and maintain the sales process used within your organization. In order to maintain the sales process in the organization, we have to create it. And those sales processes tightly bound with stages on the opportunity. Sales process is tightly bound with stages in the opportunity. So whatever the sales cycle is there, right? That sales cycle has to combine with the sales process, right? So the sales cycle is nothing but a stages. Now if you have this sales process, then only you can create the record type. Now it will allow me to create a record type. This is the first record type. So that's the reason it is saying that make a default. Make a default. Click on the next button. And then by default, I wanted to choose all the profile should have a big opportunity layout. Click on save. Right? So this is how we have created. And this is done. So in the opportunity, that is only the difference between the other objects and opportunity. Other objects and opportunity. Rest all are is same. Now take a homework of this. Object is a position. On the position object, configure a record type on the position object to segregate the records into the two categories. IT position record type. One record type is IT position record type. In this, you have a pick list field, right? So location should be Hyderabad, Chennai, Pune, Mumbai. And position status should be new, in progress, on hold, close. A non-IT position record type. Non-IT position record type. Location should be Bangalore and Delhi. Position status value should be new, in progress, and closed. That means you need to create two record types. In each record type, you need to restrict the pick list values. In the location, for the IT position record type, you should show only Hyderabad, Chennai, Pune, Mumbai. Non-IT position record type, you should show only the location is Bangalore, Delhi. For position status, now for IT record type, you should show new, in progress, on hold, closed. For non-IT position record type, it should show only new, in progress, and closed. This is the assignment. That is the assignment. Take a notes of it. Completed? Done? Okay. Now this is the interview question. When should I not to use the record type? They will ask you that when should we go for a record type or when should I not to use a record type? Right? So whenever this is asked, because in real time, most of the people blindly create a record type. We should not be creating the record type whenever we want it. Right? So this is the interview question they will ask is that when should I not to use the record type or when should I go for a record type? So let's see when should I not to use the record type. Record types are not needed when the most of the data being captured in the same for all the reports. No, whether it is a customer account, whether it is a partner account, whether it is an individual account, you have to capture the same data. In that case, you do not need a record type. In that case, you do not need a record type. Instead of creating a record type, you just create a pick list. Right? So now you have here customer account. You have a customer account. Now, for example, here record type is aeroplane, boat, car, truck, train, motorcycle. Now, the data has to be captured for everybody same. There is no difference between these two. In that case, don't create a record type. Just create a pick list. Create a pick list saying that different pace of courier. Now, in the pick list field, you choose this pick list values. Now, if you have a data to be captured differently, then only we have to go for a record type. Then only we have to go for a record type. If there is a need to differentiate between the two records, if you have to differentiate between the two records, then only you have to go for a record types. Right? For example, if you just need to indicate whether the contact is a customer or a vendor, right? You can use the pick list field here. If you just wanted to understand if your customer is if your contact is just a customer or if your contact is a vendor or if your contact is a partner. If you want to know that thing, then you just create a pick list field. You do not need to create a record type there because you just wanted to know that contact is a customer or a vendor or a partner. So, right. So, but if you say that if my contact is a customer, I wanted to capture these data. If my customer is a vendor, then I wanted to capture the different data. If you have those kind of scenarios, then you have to go for a record type. Then you have to go for a record type. Take a notes of it. Done. Okay. So let's move on. Homework. Another homework. Create a record type on the account. business account, individual account, new account, and business to account. And you need to implement a validation rule. If the record type is a business account or a business to account, then your account has to have an active flag checked. The scenario here is you need to create a record types on the account, and then you need to implement a validation rule on the account to check whether if your record type is a business account or business to account. Then you have to make sure that active flag should be checked. This is a real-time scenario. So here, on the account object, you need to create a record type, business account, individual account, new account, and business to account. These are the record types, right? And also along with the record types, you should be creating the page layouts also. Separate page layouts you have to create. And then you need to implement a validation rule on the account record type. You have to implement a validation rule on the account. If your account record type is business account or a business to account, then there is a field on the account which is called as a active flag, which is a custom field. You have it on the account level, which is Salesforce is provided this. Whenever your record type is a business account or business to account, that time this active flag has to be a true. That's a validation rule you need to implement. So three things you need to do. One is a record type creation. And second thing is that you need to create a page layout. Each record type should have a page layout. Then the third one is you need to create a validation rule. Okay, so let's move on. Now another homework, implement a validation rule. Whenever case is created or edited, description field should be required based on the case reason pick list value selection. Right? So case reason is installation performance breakdown. So here the scenario is you need to implement a validation rule on the case object whether it is created or edited. Whenever it is created or edited, your description field, whatever the description field is there, the description field should be a required. It is a required field based on the case reason. If your case reason is installation, if your case reason is performance, if your case reason is a breakdown, then your description field is mandatory. Take a notes of it. And that's all for today. So whatever we have learned today, I'm giving you the trailhead links also. I'm pasting the trailhead links in the chart. So make sure you are practicing the trailheads. And that's all for today.